Jamie Eisenberg, Rick Spiel, and Pete Prisco here to recap the early action in the NFL, the game in London between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. The Vikings coming out on top 28-25. We're going to talk about the highlights first, then we'll talk about the game. So another game in London for the Vikings and for the Saints. Both teams have played here before. And early morning football, which of course we always love. Andy Dalton getting the start at quarterback. Jameis Winston out for this game, and Vikings seeking their first above 500 record through 4 games since 2016. We pick it up under 5 minutes to play. Vikings down 22-19. Cousins, deep shot to Adam Thielen, and little pass interference there, Jamie.
Yeah, I like that they've involved Thielen quite a bit, and it certainly set up, the opportunity for them to score this touchdown. So great opportunity here for where, Adam Thielen and then eventually Justin Jefferson. Yeah,
easy walk in there for Jefferson on the jet sweep. Vikings up 25-22, but then Pete, they didn't...
Make the damn kick! It's your job! Make your kick!
But here Will Lutz does.
Bang!
60
yards.
Out.
That's incredible.
Career high for Lutz, and we're tied at 25. Really nicely done. So the Vikings going up again, and there's Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, it's great to see him get back on track today, beat Lattimore in a one-on-one situation. Cousins made a great throw, had another come-from-behind victory 2 weeks in a row. So it was a great job to set up for the game-winning field goal here.
And here, Joseph, 47 yards out, nails it. Vikings go up 28-25 with 24 seconds to go. Joseph, a career-high 5th made field goal in this game. Ensuing Saints drive, though, Andy Dalton slings it deep down the middle to Chris Olave. Huge 32-yard gain there. Nice toss.
Olave had a good game, not a great game, but without Michael Thomas, they needed him. He stepped up, scored a touchdown, and nearly got them the chance to
Double doink 2.0. Will Lutz, he hit the 60, so this was 61. He needed just another yard here.
Yeah, and you see it come off the upright, then it hits the crossbar, and then it falls just to the opposite side. Which
Make your damn kick, Will! No, you can't.
When was the last time a kicker made 2 60-yard plus field goals in a game?
It would have been amazing. It would have been amazing if he did that.
And if you had him in fantasy, you'd have been laughing all the way to the bank because of the fact he hits 2 60-yard.
If you get bonuses.
There was an incomplete pass to Olave. He couldn't get his foot down. Otherwise, it would have been on the play before. It would have been a shorter field goal.
So it is the Vikings improving to 3-1 with a 28-25 win. The Saints fall to 1-3. The Saints get the loss, but they do cover, and the over hits in this game. Afterwards, Kirk Cousins spoke with our Jamie Erdahl.
You're standing on the sideline. You watch that ball hit a crossbar and an upright. What's that feel like?
I saw it going left. It hit the crossbar, or it hit the upright. It looked like it then hit the crossbar, and then I thought it bounced backwards, and apparently it bounced forwards out. So crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Nothing really went easily for you guys today, but on this final drive offensively, your 2 big playmakers come through, Dalvin and Justin. What does it say about your offense clicking at the right time?
It was a big-time job by JJ to run that go ball and beat his corner and come down with it, and great kick by Greg to close it out. It was a tough sledding all day in terms of just finding ways to move the ball, and in the red zone, we kept stubbing our toe, but our defense kept getting us the ball back, creating turnovers. Special teams was huge with all kinds of different plays, and we got to win.
The last time you were here playing Andy Dalton, it ended in a tie. This feels better?
Yeah, it definitely feels better. it was coming back to me. I'm like, we're going to go to overtime, and Andy and I are going to duke it out for 10 more minutes, and who knows. But I had already flown home once from London after a tie. I didn't want to do that again.
There you go. This one's sweet.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Kirk.
All right, so most wins without a loss in international games. Vikings and the Patriots, both with 3. Only teams to go to London, 3-0. Patriots and the Vikings. 49ers, Giants, and Chiefs also in there with 2 wins apiece. All right, so let's have a quick chat about this game. Jamie, I'll start with you here. Overall thoughts about what we saw here. Obviously, didn't start great, but it had a really good finish to this game. But for the Vikings, a good win on not home soil.
I think you're looking at the Vikings the last 2 weeks, getting the job done, and hopefully there's better performances ahead, because they should be better than the 2 teams they faced. They should be better than the Lions last week. They should be better than the Saints team that was down their quarterback, their receiver, their running back, so this was a fractured Saints team. But the fact that they're getting wins shows you that there's better days ahead if they can start to just fix some things defensively, clearly eliminate some of the mistakes. Cousins had another interception in this matchup. But you see the potential of some of the superstars here. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen is still going. This offense could be fantastic once the defense gets on on track, this is going to be a strong playoff team.
Yeah, once the Vikings have to figure out how, and Kurt alluded to, how to get better in the red zone, because on 2 fumble recoveries, they only got 6 points off of that. Then they ran the fake punt, which converted a 4th down, got them back into the red zone again, and they got a field goal off of that. So I counted as 3 turnovers. You basically only got 9 points. So they're going to have to take better advantage of when the defense does make plays and get them the ball back. They have to create those, they have to turn those into touchdowns and not field goals.
The best thing about this game is getting Jefferson going again. I mean, he had 2 games where he did nothing, and that's so not like him. I mean, this is an explosive player. You saw it. He beat Lattimore. Bad coverage by Lattimore. You got to get your hands on him at the line of scrimmage. He allowed him free release down the sideline on that big play to set up the game-winning field goal. So getting Jefferson going, important. They also have to be better in the run game and run defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you know all about bad run defense from Minnesota days, but they weren't much better today.
Thanks, Pete. I didn't call the defense. I didn't call the offense. I just sit there and watch like you do here and criticize on Mondays.
Jefferson, by the way, 10 receptions, 147 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Did not have a receiving touchdown, had a rushing touchdown. But Pete, what do you make of this? I mean, because it seemed like the offense was sputtering for a while. I mean, I think 7 different receivers caught balls from Kirk Cousins. It seemed like there was frustration there. Then Cousins went and sat on the bench with the receiving group. And then after that, it seemed like they got things figured out. Why is it year after year that this Vikings offense, particularly in the passing game, just sputters at the start? So
I thought they had protection problems today a little bit. The blitz got to him. He got hit. He had that, once they got in the red zone after the fake punt, they had the intentional grounding, which set them back. They had a legal procedure penalty, which set them back even more. So you got to be in a rhythm, and this is a rhythm offense. And when he gets into a rhythm, he's really good. Yeah. When he gets out of that rhythm, he's not so good. And so I think that's part of the problem with them.
Do you agree with the rushing game? I mean, that it needs to hit an extra gear here, Rick?
Yeah, you saw it last week where they were starting to run the ball well, and I think before Cook went out, he had almost 100 yards before he got injured. Today, I thought New Orleans did a great job game planning to stop the run because they've been struggling to stop the run all season. And then when you're doing that, Cousins has to go ahead and make plays in the passing game, and in the end, he did to help them win the game.
Jamie, is there some positives, though, with Cooks? I mean, his usage was 20 carries today. Nobody else had above 5. So, I mean, in terms of the usage, Cook is getting the usage in this offense. It's
a good buy low opportunity coming off a disappointing performance because you could sell the Cooks manager on. You know he's got the shoulder concerns. You know at some point that might pop out again. And we've seen this now a couple of seasons. And now he's coming off another disappointing performance. So if you can get him cheap, it's not going to be easy because he's still a first-round talent. But if you get him cheaper than maybe he was a few weeks ago, now's the opportunity to try and pounce. That's how you win your fantasy leagues, is by getting players like this at a depressed value.
We drafted him in the 2nd round, so we got him cheap.
Yeah,
you did get it.
Great pick. Great pick.
The New Orleans Saints were that far away from sending the game to overtime. Will Lutz's 61-yard field goal at the end, double doink 2.0. It is the Vikings that get the win, improving to 3-1 with the 28-25 victory. Jameis thought it was in. Jameis thought they had it, but no. Still great performance by Lutz, though he hit a 60-yarder to keep them certainly in it and within room to tie it, but he was just a yard short. And of course, since we're talking about Dalvin Cook perhaps being a buy low opportunity right now, you can check out what the guys think on Fantasy Football Today, our podcast daily. You can download and follow wherever you get your podcast audio.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.